The country that we'll be exploring today is one that I believe a lot of us root back to, and of course, that's none other than India.
A few observations from my side. Um, the first thing would be definitely affordability. India stands out to be a very affordable destination in terms of higher education.
Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for tuning back to this podcast where we talk on everything relating to education, careers, and universities, helping students and professionals alike in making their next career decisions. I'm Sukaina Hemani, your host this season. Keeping the theme for this season in mind, which is exploring unconventional study destinations, the country that we'll be exploring today is one that I believe a lot of us root back to, and of course, that's none other than India. And for that, today we have with us a very special guest, Brother Mohammed Kazim Sheriff. Brother Mohammed, welcome to this podcast. And thank you so much for making the time to be here today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. So, before we get into the details of studying in India, why don't you give us a quick introduction on yourself, where you come from, what you've studied, where you've studied, and what you pursue as a career?
Assalamu alaikum. Um, as Sister Sukaina rightly introduced me, I am Mohammed Kazim Sharif. I was born in Arusha, and 95 onwards, as a family, we migrated to India. Bangalore was the destination in South India. Since then onwards, I pursued my primary, secondary, professional education. I graduated as a pharmacist. I did my bachelor's in pharmacy in Bangalore at the Alamein College of Pharmacy. Further, then went on to do my Doctor of Pharmacy at Manipal College of Pharmaceutical Sciences in Manipal. After which, I worked as an assistant professor at Alamein College of Pharmacy, where I was in the Department of Pharmacy Practice. Further, then I entered the corporate sector where I ventured into medical marketing and medical writing. And currently, I am the head of the editorial department uh, of this medical marketing company in Bangalore called as Ostium Medicom, which gives me the feasibility to work from home. And apart from that, I also manage the operations at the Africa Federation.
Very interesting background. Okay, so jumping right into it, one of the main questions that I ask my guests to first jot down is sort of lay down their criteria list, important factors and checklists that they had in mind when deciding where to study abroad, which, of course, in your case is India. So, this is almost like a guideline sheet that we're giving to our viewers who need to take into consideration when they're making the decision on where to study abroad, on what important factors they need to see before deciding that, oh, this is going to be the country I'm going to spend the next 3 to 4 years of my life in for further studies. And then we could see how India sort of checks into these
Definitely,
boxes.
definitely. Yeah. I'm sorry. So my first, okay, a few observations from my side. The first thing would be definitely affordability. India stands out to be a very affordable destination in terms of higher education. Um, However, more um, as a guiding compass, as you rightly said,
Mm-hmm.
it's more important that when selecting a destination within India, number one, you need to do a little bit of research about the political situation. I guess yes, the news says a lot of things we hear about certain incidents in India, and that does kind of make us uneasy. But yeah, honestly, 21 years in India, or rather 26 years in India, sorry, I find India to be very safe. But yes, it requires a little bit of research from your side, the political research, number one. Second thing is in terms of when you select the institution. India has a, a vast diversity of universities, and it's important that when you make an informed decision about which university you're going to, there are certain criteria that has to meet. More importantly, you also need to understand that there are certain universities which are emerging, which are more commercial, and it's important that you don't get lured into, you know, getting trapped into it. That's more important. So, how do
Mm.
you actually navigate yourself through this? It's important that the university you have been accepted to, you need to look out at the University Grants Commission (UGC) website. Now that's somewhere where it gives you all the list of the genuine universities which the UGC has actually inspected, and more importantly, it will also list out all the fake universities. That's more important.
Mm.
Secondly, you have specific regulatory and governing bodies for universities which fall under specific fields like medicine or management studies, technical education, etc. So for that, for example, I just did a little bit of research myself. For engineering courses or technical courses or management courses, we have the All India Council of Technical Education, also called as the AICTE. For medical studies, we have the National Medical Commission, NMC. For distance and online education, which is something which is emerging, and we see that a huge number of students opting to pursue online education. So we have the Distance Education Bureau, which falls under the um, which falls under the University Grants Commission. Another important factor is that um, most of the universities go through this extensive accreditation process under the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC. Um, I myself, when I was a faculty, I have seen how institutions go through this process. It's a very extensive, and if you have a university that is accredited by NAC, I believe it's a safe destination to go through.
So I think we can narrow it down to the key factors being ensuring the quality of the education there and the quality of the universities that you're going to visit being
Definitely,
very key.
definitely,
Number two, the physical security, but
definitely,
also number three, the affordability
definitely.
of the place that you're going to study in. So, very interesting. In fact, statistics actually show India being one of the most visited study destinations by quite a number of students, particularly from East Africa, which brings me to my next question. What was your first impression like when you first arrived in India? How hard or maybe how easy was the transitioning going from Tanzania to India? When you're moving countries, there's always different ways of doing things, different routines, cultures, part and parcels of life are always different here and there. So how's the transition like? What was your first impression like in
Okay,
India?
so what I'll do is I will break this answer into two phases.
Okay,
I entered India at the age of 7,
okay.
number one. Um, so when I entered Bangalore at the age of 7, coming from Arusha, a different lifestyle altogether, and then entering a place which is vast, you find a huge ethnic difference.
Hmm.
It felt very strange, as if someone has just slipped the carpet out of or below your feet, and you're like, you don't know where you are. It took us a couple of years to get used to, especially the schooling system. I was back in Arusha, and all of a sudden um, I would not say thrown into, but yes, I had to adopt myself into a new schooling system, which was more or less very strict and stringent back in India. The types of uniform you wear, the reporting
Very
system,
structured.
very structured, very strict. But yeah, that shaped me. So I'm grateful about it. And that's where I started. And then my second phase, where now I enter another destination, that's Manipal, um, completely independent, something which I was looking forward to. And that really, really did shape me a lot, because that's where now I had to take my own independent decisions, make sure that I survive on my own,
Mhm.
um, have my financial regulation more importantly.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's where, yeah.
So, but like because maybe most of us come from India, like our backgrounds come from India. What was the culture transition like over there? Stuff like maybe the food, the languages. Of course, that was easy to move into and adapt to, right?
So I would more in a position to speak for South India, because that's
Mhm.
where I spent most of my
Mm.
life. Very welcoming place, I must say, very welcoming place. Um, the moment I entered, though I took my time to adjust,
Mhm.
but from the people's point of view, they are very, very inquisitive and very, very enthusiastic to welcome you. That's something which I felt. Um, yes, there are certain regions which would obviously distance yourself, but for me,
Mm.
Bangalore especially, or I would say Karnataka, especially because Manipal also was some place where I spent quite a significant part of my life too.
Mm-hmm.
I felt, yeah, they're quite welcoming. Your question about food, I guess yes, that's something where it's always a hot discussion as to you're going to India. How do you navigate yourself with regards to food? I guess I just have a simple answer to that. Your faith gives you the flexibility um, within the regulations to make your own informed decision. Yes, I mean, guess you're an adult, you're wise enough to know what is right and what is wrong. There are a lot of opportunities available in terms of getting the right food over there. Um, you just need to do a little bit of more research. On my side, I believe we did not find much of a difficulty. Yes, sometimes you do feel that you are in certain situations where you are either stepping out of it or you just submit yourself. But yes, I believe, I guess you're an adult, so I leave it up to you to make your informed decision. Yeah, but um, from my experience, having stayed over there, I didn't feel I didn't feel the tension in terms of deciding much.
Hmm. So I feel like the flow into transitioning was a bit more smoother from Tanzania to India than maybe Tanzania to some other European country maybe, or some exotic culture that you're not so used to and would be completely different to
Definitely,
what you're
because you're entering into a
normally
place
used
where
to.
you
Yeah.
know your skin matches, so
Hmm.
that's more important.
Definitely, yeah. And there's also quite a lot of concerns on the physical security, particularly for Muslims in India. Maybe you could tell us on your personal experience on how physically secure you felt being over there.
Okay, so honestly, again, as I said, 26 years into India,
Mhm.
Alhamdulillah, I felt the place to be extremely safe. Yes, there are isolated incidents that do happen, but again, every country has
As these
that.
things.
We right now we saw that even the most, if the countries which proclaim to be the most safest has have such
Definitely,
incidents happening, and I mean, you know, they completely drive you off your safe spot or
definitely.
comfort zone. But more importantly, um, as I mentioned earlier, it's important that the place you're going to in India, do a little bit of political research. Um, I would not want to delve more into this, but yes, I guess you're aware.
Yeah.
So, which political party perhaps is running the show over there, and that would make you, uh, that would put you in a more comfortable position to make an informed decision whether that place is going to be. I would not say safe. All places are safe in India, but yes, I mean incident free.
Instant free. Okay, so apart from discussing India as a country, I'm most intrigued to understand and know what the education system and quality of education system is like in India. Is it challenging enough? Is it better than Tanzania? Overall, is it worth it?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, we do have a lot of options over there, and I mean, the top range universities or the
Mhm.
extensive universities really bombard you with a lot of opportunities there. That's one thing
Mhm.
I've noticed. Having been myself into academics, I've seen as a faculty for the students. Um, I mean, the institution which I was working for in India was a top pharmacy institution, um, and the pharmacy institution which I was studying also was a top pharmacy institution. So I've seen that from a faculty point of view as to what sort of opportunities we give to the students, and from a student point of view, what sort of opportunities are given to you by the institution. So I mean, yes, I would definitely vouch
For
for
the
it. Yes,
quality of education over
yes.
there. Very good. And what about transitioning into work life for foreign students over there? Do foreign students have the opportunity to do maybe some field works or internships when they're at India?
Definitely, yes. So, internships, definitely. Um, in terms of as a foreigner, in terms of career options, sometimes it can become a bit challenging because of the work permit, the work visa involved. However, for me, it was relatively easy because I had the OCI, the
Okay.
Overseas Citizenship of India, which my dad really worked hard for it. So I want to put it on paper. I want to put it on yeah, so he really worked hard for it, and that's when we could really enjoy the fruits.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that really allowed me to that gave me a lifetime visa in India. So
Hmm.
that allowed me to work in India. Um, And yes, in terms of opportunities, so we have if you are at a top institution or a top college or university, we have these campus recruitments that do come
Mm-hmm.
in. I was fortunate enough that I was recruited with 1 year still into my course to complete,
Okay.
so that gave me a lot of job security. Um,
But also a lot of exposure on what you're doing
definitely,
as well.
definitely, and um, I completed my master's or my doctorate in pharmacy, but then I ventured into a field where it was more into a corporate sector where
Mm,
something which you don't ever think of when you're doing the course, but when you see the
correct.
opportunities coming in, when you see the openings coming up,
Mm,
when the company is visiting you, that's when it's like, okay, fine, there's more to this than just
yeah.
what you read or what the
Mm.
course teaches you.
I really like how this sort of opened a lot of ways for you as well by being there. Of course, the nitty gritties of work permits are there for every country. If you're a foreign student, you are going to face these difficulties. But I'm glad to hear on having on campus recruitment opportunities there, which really open you up and, put you out there and give you lots of exposure for your
Definitely.
career pathway. So, very nice to hear that. So another very important area I believe to touch on is finances. How affordable is it to study and live in India, but also how great is the value of money that you're getting out of being there in India?
Yeah. So I would again put myself into the discussion and bring about my personal experience. So when I went to Manipal, the initial 1 year I was staying in a hostel, but then after 1 year, you have the opportunity to or the feasibility to step out and go for a rental apartment.
Mm,
That works out way cheaper and gives you the independence also,
mm,
um, and also allows you to manage your finances better. So
mhm,
I'll speak about the latter part where I shifted out. Roughly, I can say that you can, if you have a trustable friend, or when you're in a group together, 2 or 3 people can move into an apartment in sharing,
mhm,
and the total rental of the apartment would roughly come to about $200 if I'm getting the facts right,
okay,
per month. Um, Food roughly another 100 to $150 per month,
okay,
and I would say transportation. If you're staying, if you're close to the university, then definitely that does not cost you much.
mhm.
But if you're staying off a little far from the university, then definitely you can add up another $100 more. So I think within 300 to $400, you are secured for the month.
You're set to go for the month.
Yes.
Okay, not bad, I would say. And maybe a quick bonus question in the middle of finances is what's one thing you think students need to keep in mind when they're going to study in India?
Yeah. All right. So one thing very important, which initially I was hesitant when I was in India, was engaging a lot with the locals.
Mm,
It's very important that you are in a place, soak yourself with them,
mm,
um, get to learn more about them,
mm,
especially learn the local language. That's very, very important.
mm,
If you stand out, popped up as a foreigner, you'll always be treated as a foreigner, and it's not going to be very smooth for you. But
mm,
the moment you soak yourself, I know it's going to be a little bit initially it's going to be a bit of a stretch out of your comfort zone,
mm, mm, mm,
but on the long run, it's going to be really, really helpful. So
mm.
yes, I would say soak yourself within the locals, learn the local language, very, very important. Impose yourself to do that, and more importantly, stick with the right company. So yes, be it within your academic circle or within your community circle, very, very important.
So, as you mentioned, soaking yourself in is definitely going to make your life maybe a lot more easier instead of just just staying within your own bubble as the foreigner in India. Rather, you should try to explore more, dive more into the cultures and understand
And
and learn the languages as
if I
well.
can just add a little bit more, that yes, look out for your community. I
Mm,
guess the first step would be that the moment you land, find out where your mosque is. If you have a Shia mosque, even more better,
mm,
because that will really, really easen out your process. I mean, again, just taking you a little back to my history. When we entered India in '95, I mean, it was a complete new place for us. But what did my dad do? He located where is the mosque first, he
Mm.
met people in the mosque, and
Mm.
that's when his journey got easier. And I guess he set the base for us, and that's where our journey got easier for us. Like our journey got very easy for us too.
So I think that's some very important advice that students need to consider when they're not only at India, in fact, any other place, finding your community, sticking to your faith, your religion, and yeah, just trying to dive into where you are. It's gonna make your life a lot more easier.
Sorry,
No worries.
as you're summarizing, I guess
Mhm.
some points are coming
Some
out.
points are
Yeah,
coming up.
exactly. So I'll just add up more. Um, yeah, with regards to I mean, finding your community.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be some places, again, outside an example of Manipal,
Mm-hmm.
where we don't have a Shia mosque.
Mm.
We had to develop our own community. I was fortunate enough that when I entered Manipal, we were about six, seven East African students
Mhm.
from our community, and we were the ambassadors of that particular destination then. And over a period of time, we reached about 30. So it's very important that wherever you are, find like-minded people of within your community
Mhm.
and start community activities to keep yourself united. So I remember what we used to do is every Muharram, every Ramadan, we used to visit houses of our students, and it used to be a cyclic practice where one particular night at this person's house, one particular night at that person's house, and um, have our majlises or our gatherings or iftars together, or sometimes even plan out something where you as a group go out together. But more importantly, keep yourself united that way. It's very important. And eventually, what we happened was we were blessed enough that we had our own center over a period of time. Um, and it served as a platform where all these 30 35 students could regularly meet up for Ramadan, Muharram, Thursdays, Tuesdays. More importantly, um, it served as a platform or as a comfort zone for the girls or the women of the community or the students to stay united. Because sometimes, um, for anyone, for boys or for girls, it's very, very easy that once you have come out from your home country and you are out in a location where not much eyes are on you and you're on your own, where it's very easy to sway. But with the support or with the presence of like-minded community members or friends, I guess that's very important. That's the first thing you need to look out for too.
I think that's a very good thing that was done. Is that center still there?
Unfortunately, the center had to be closed down because the trend towards Manipal sort of decreased.
Mm.
So it reached a stage where we were only five, six students, and the number of students who were attending the center were only two or three. So we had to shut it down. But it served its purpose for almost, I would say, close to a decade. Um, it gave rise to leaders within our community, I must say, because those
Very nice.
who were over there had to take up positions where they were chairing the society or communicating with the body. So that time it was Africa Federation who was sponsoring the entire center, and there had to be one reporting figure who was reporting to the Africa Federation in terms of the finances, in terms of activities, where um, the reports could be then shared with the rest of the community members, the wider community members, as to what sort of activities are actually happening back in Manipal.
And so, based on what you've said, it definitely did serve its purpose very well
Very much.
because the outcomes are seen right now. And this also just shows that if they were able to make such a center before, they could do it again. I mean, if there's more students who are going to go visit towards Manipal, this is something that you could definitely do. And I'm pretty sure if we reach out to Africa Federation as well, this is something that they would be willing to also take in and invest in as well.
Definitely. I mean, the opportunities are always open.
Hmm.
More importantly, it has to be something where the movement has to start again from the students.
Hmm.
I mean, the way I see this particular center, we had called it Masumin Islamic Center.
Masumi
Um,
Islamic Center.
so the way it started was again students showing that the need that we need a center.
Hmm.
So it started off from the students, and then it was given to them. So I guess any place
Hmm.
perhaps where we see the trend of students going there, if the movement starts within the students that we need to have these community reunions happening on a regular basis, then yes, I guess the support is always there. The support is waiting, in fact.
That's very nice to hear. And also, you mentioned something about stepping out of your comfort zones. Of course, you know, when you're a student going to another country, not only to India, but any other country, you're almost stepping out of your shell, out of your bubble. I'm pretty sure there's quite a lot of personal development and growth, maybe even some character development you pick up along the way. So I'm interested to know, how did studying in a place that's, number one, yes, you're already there in India, but you weren't local to begin with, you are a foreigner. And then number two, for your postgraduate degree, you moved to another city again. So it was almost like going to a new place again, exploring new things again, stepping out of your comfort zone again. How did that sort of help you grow as a person?
So yeah, I mean, so when I went to Manipal as a place, as a university, that place has a lot to offer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's to speak more about that place. It always it's kind of an emotional thing because it's a 2 kilometer radius city, or a small town, uh, in which everything is within that radius. So you have the university building, the various colleges, the
Mm.
various accommodations, the food court, or the various restaurants
Mm.
around. Everything is within that. So you don't have to really step out much to you know step out much or stretch much.
Mm.
But coming to Bangalore as a place, again, and this could be an example where you could be going to a place where the university has a lot to offer. It could be a university hub like Manipal, or you could be going to a place which could be a city where the university is, and you could be located near the university, or you could be located far away from the university, or a
Mm.
little at a distance from the university. Now, that's a place where you need to really um, put yourself into, stretch further.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, don't things are not going to come easy to you. Those are places where initially you might have accommodations provided by the universities in terms of hostels,
Mm.
which are not always very comfortable, let me admit it. You might have to go out and look out for places. Manipal had the opportunity, or had the feasibility of having these, um, what you say, apartments very close by, ready for the students to take. But Bangalore is a city which is not only for students, it is for everyone. So there you have to really stretch out and see. And sometimes the owners would not be even the owners of the apartments would not be even very ready to give out their rentals towards students, knowing that this person is a foreigner. So it's very important how you set up yourself, how you present yourself, and as I said earlier, that whichever place you go into, stretch out of your comfort zone, engage with the locals, and be a person of that particular city for that particular duration of time. It's only going to help you out. Sorry, if I can just add up more. Public transport.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we kind of, what you say, keep ourselves distant from public transport, but that's something which really, really helps out, because um, it can be sometimes a little inconvenient, but that's something where it is cost effective until you figure your own way out. But yes, I guess that's one thing which you really need to
Another
push
thing,
yourself. Yeah,
and to keep in mind as well
definitely.
when being over there. So I think we can come to, of course, all this way you've just been giving us very insightful and detailed advice, but maybe one final advice that you could give to students who are on the verge of deciding whether or not they should come to India, or are already in India. What's one final advice that you would give such students?
Okay, I guess it's going to be I would say snippets from whatever I've spoken so far. So I guess number one would be, do your political research before you choose the destination you want to go. Fact check about the university before you go there, because sometimes you don't want to be up for a surprise that the university
Doesn't even
doesn't
exist.
even exist. Yes, I mean that's very common as a place of as a place as India,
Mm.
which has a lot to offer sometimes, and you can really get swayed about. More importantly, indulge yourself uh, with the locals. The local language, very important. Don't pop out, or don't consider yourself that I'll receive privileges as a
Mm.
foreigner. Um, it's very important that you soak yourself uh, in the destination. It's going to be even more easier for you. Um, keep yourself close to choose the people rightly you want to engage with. Very important, because again, it's a place where not much eyes are on you. So especially when you have been cocooned in your own city or your
Mm,
house, and then you're entering a place where no one much is looking at you, it's very
mm,
easy to get swayed. um, so engage with the right people and the right habits. That's more important. You would find people over there who have a nightlife, who
mm,
have a very active social life. And if you don't keep a right group,
mm,
it's very easy for you to start thinking that, okay, fine, I need to fit in because this is where majority of the people fit in. I
mm,
mean, yes, you have been raised up with certain principles, alhamdulillah. There's something which I would really, really, really vouch for and acknowledge.
mm.
It's a blessing, the upbringing you get within Dar es
Definitely.
Salaam, within Tanzania. Uh, but yes, it's very easy to get swayed. So yes, keep company with the right people.
So I think also onto the advice I'd like to add on to that, not only in India, but rather any other country that you're visiting to study, don't forget the main purpose of you being there, which is you're there to get an education, and you've left your family behind in another country. So make sure you're fulfilling that purpose, and along with everything else that brother has mentioned over here. So I believe this pretty much covers everything a student needs to know when they're deciding whether or not to study in India, and also fulfills our purpose for this podcast, which is helping students make more informed decisions on what country to go for when they're deciding to study abroad.
So
So with that, but
sorry if I could just add on. I hope I've done justice to this podcast,
no worries, please.
because I guess there were moments where I was emotionally really taken aback. But yeah, but if I've done justice, I really appreciate the opportunity given. Honestly,
Yes, yes, definitely. It's our pleasure. And, thank you very much for these very important insights that you've given, because there's some very important details. India is a country that raises a lot of questions, raises an eyebrow. And, these are some very useful insights that you've given us. And we really appreciate you being here. I wish you the best of luck in everything that you do. And hopefully you could come back with another country once you get a PhD or something, right?
sure. Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate the aspirations.
Thank you. And to our viewers, see you again in the next episode.